Today's vaccine is emergency surgery. Elaine EO was to hospital for emergency surgery. Permits are not owned by Olaf in Holland. Like the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. And let's get into this vaccine. 3, 2, 1.
So Ashton wakes up Saturday morning so sick. He was throwing up so much.
Oh. New York, New York, New York. Oh, New York, look. Nice.
Guys, we're back at it. Day 2 in New York City. We're back on the bikes. It's a lot chillier today. As you can see, I have a big warm coat on. We're all visiting a little soccer field right behind me, middle of the city. My kids are gonna freak out when they see this. One thing that's kind of fun about us and our friends is all of our kids play soccer. I mean, Benj and Kit are both English. Soccer is huge over there. We've got a lot of soccer players in our 3 families. And look how fun this is. I just can't believe this is in the middle of New York City. This is huge. This facility is huge. And it's open from 6 a.m. to 1 in the morning. So they must have games at all hours of the day.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, you guys, but it's not just day 2 in New York City. It's somebody's birthday! We are celebrating the birthday boy today in a big way. In New York City, he's turning 39 today.
1 more year till 40. So people we're with, they're British, right? 2 are British. They're my best mates. They're good guys. And there's this place here they serve fish and chips, which apparently, you know, they've been craving fish and chips. Now,
Authentic fish and chips.
Well, Lindsay's from Wisconsin. They got fish and chips in Wisconsin, all right?
Different.
But this guy is pure English that owns this place. We're told it's amazing, so we came down here for some fish and chips as we rode our bikes. Guys, we're riding throughout the entire city, as you've seen on the last couple videos. Once again today, we're riding, stopped, took some nice little pictures. In fact, we probably should show you some of those pictures.
Well, yesterday we mostly just went by the Hudson. Today we're riding through the streets, the cobblestone streets, through all the beautiful architecture. It's unbelievable. I just love being in the city. And apparently these kinds of fish and chips have curry sauce. I've never tried that, so I'm excited to try this. the full English experience over here. I told them that our next trip needs to be to London because I need more of this in my life. We got a little tower over here. Little sandwiches.
I'm not sure about the one this sponge cake. Oh, that one's good right there. Jam and cream.
What is this one? Cornish pasty. Cornish pasty right here.
Making right here for you.
Oh, make a fresh made scone from an Englishman himself. And then we got an English breakfast over here. This lady right here is from England. I told you we're getting the real English. So these are more tomatoey, I'm told. Is that bacon? Tomatoes, scrambled eggs, and toast. That's an English breakfast.
Full English breakfast.
Full English breakfast. The fish and chips here. Curry sauce down here. Brown sauce, whatever that is. Malt vinegar all over it. What do you think, birthday boy?
I feel like I'm in England.
Hello, old bean. Jolly good evening, isn't
Feel like
it?
I'm in.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Justin. Happy birthday to you.
Sa 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 la la la. Emo chicken.
See, that's not chocolate custard, is it?
A little bike through the city, the actual city. His favorite kind of biking. He was like one with the cars. The rest of us were in the bike
you're
lane.
just one with the New York, you're one with the road, you're
One
just
with the
weaving
New
in
York.
and out of cars. There's a bike path, I get that. I'd rather use the car path like the other true biking New Yorkers out here.
Yes, but I was
Like
the
in
one
New
that was
York.
like always bringing up the back because I was so cautious, afraid I was going to hit someone at all times. So we made it to Central Park. I'm not going to lie, this is probably my favorite part of New York. I'm so excited for this part. We're going to ride our bikes for a little bit, and then Kaylee's telling us what's really fun is to take those little, what are they?
There's little like hand carts that people drive you around in them, whatever they are.
And they give you like a guided tour. And I think that would be fun. We've biked it before, so here we go.
The best Buffalo. If we
I'm closing out Justin's birthday video here at home a couple of days later because so much more happened on Justin's birthday than I was able to tell you about that day. It was very chaotic and stressful, and we were trying to make the most of the situation while we were there. So we just did not have a second to fill you in on anything that was going on. So here's what happened. Okay, so Ashton's here. He's going to tell me the story because it's about Ashton. So Ashton wakes up Saturday morning. He's got his last soccer game of the season, and he's got a pool party with his soccer team afterwards. He's so excited, and he wakes up so sick. He's throwing up.
I actually wasn't that sick when I woke up, actually. I just felt like it was a little tummy ache that was going to go away once I ate, but it didn't.
Turns out it wasn't a little tummy ache. He was throwing up so much, more than he ever has in his entire life.
Like really loud.
My mom was calling me and she's like, Lindsay, I've just never seen anybody retch so hard in their life. She's like, he just keeps like basically like dry heaving because he didn't have anything else at that point. She's like, he's just retching so hard. It just doesn't seem normal. So you have to realize that when we think Ashton has the stomach flu, we're all a little panicked.
What even, but that's a goof. Wow.
Because Landon's surgery is the following week in Texas. So my biggest fear is that we spend all this money to get there. Flights are not cheap right now. And all this money on hotels and have the surgery scheduled, and we get there and he's sick and can't have surgery. So we're like giving everybody all their vitamins and trying to stay away from everybody who's sick. And Ashton wakes up so sick on Saturday. So I'm in New York and I'm like, Mom, I really need you guys to like take care of Ashy, but like also kind of stay away from him. Like, I can't have this run through the whole house right now. Like, I feel so bad for him. Like, it's an impossible situation is basically what it comes down to. So I'm talking to Ashton on Saturday morning and he's just so sad. He's like, Mom, I really don't want to miss any of this stuff. He's just devastated.
It's like the worst day possible.
Yes, exactly. It's like when you're looking forward to something huge in your life and then that's the day you wake up sick. It was just such bad luck. So we're going throughout the day. My mom, has kind of checking in with me and she's just like, I don't know, Lindsay, like he's just retching so badly. Well, then he starts to throw up blood a little bit and we're like, okay, what's going on? He can't keep any
going up blood. That's really bad. Oh, it's that bad. Wow. Going up blood. Wow. It's that bad. Wow.
any fluids down. He can't keep any food down. Like normally when you have the stomach flu, you can kind of sip on some soda, eat a little bit of crackers. He couldn't keep anything down. So my mom's like, I'm worried about dehydration.
I mean, I could keep it down for like a little bit. Once I woke up from my nap, it was just hard retching. Okay.
It was bad. It was really bad. And obviously it's hard because we're not there. We're not sure exactly, you know, what's going on at home. My mom's like trying to like listen to us because we're the parents, but also like she's in the situation and she's realizing something's not right here. So we're like trying to get her, you know, written permission so she can take him to Instacare and get him figure out, you know, which Instacare to take him to. And my mom got an appointment for the Instacare so that they at least didn't have to wait for hours when they got there. So they get to the Instacare and I'll tell them what happens when you get there.
And the funny part is about the Instacare is they didn't even take like the doctor didn't even look at me. Despite the pain I was telling the assistant.
All the symptoms.
Yeah, and they checked my fever and it was nothing. I had no fever.
So since he had no fever and all the symptoms that he had, so then what did they say?
They were like, you need to go to the emergency room right away.
Wow, no fever. Wow. Wow. And yeah, symptoms. Wow. That bad. Wow.
They didn't even like sit down with me. They were like, you just need to go to the emergency room.
The doctor wouldn't even see him. He was like, you need to go and you need to go right now. In fact, Grandma told me that they were like even considering getting you an ambulance.
Yep.
So she calls us. We're in Central Park at this point, which if any of you remember our New York trip a year ago, we were in Central Park at the very same spot when we got a phone call that Landon was having a seizure at school. So it was like total deja vu. So crazy. We were like, how is this happening again? It was so crazy. So we were a little stressed at this point, and the hospital that we normally take Landon to is kind of far away from.
It was 23 minutes from where I was.
So I called my insurance company really quickly and found out that a lot more hospitals are covered than I had ever realized. So that was a huge blessing. So they were able to go to a hospital that was closer. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty stressed. I'm in the middle of New York City. There's absolutely nothing I can do. My mom is telling me that they are saying it could be dehydration, but it's really looking like it's going to be appendicitis. And with appendicitis, we're worried, of course, that it's going to rupture because once it ruptures, it's very dangerous. Yeah. So they get to the hospital as quickly as they can. And then I'm going to let him help me tell the story because I wasn't there.
Yeah, we got there and we all ran inside. We didn't even let them check us in. We were just like, we need to go there. Then the doctor gave me an IV right away, but my veins, since I was throwing up so much, my veins weren't being able to poke into.
When you're dehydrated.
Wow, really?
Wow.
So he poked into both of my arms.
Aww.
And he couldn't find one. And then finally he poked a second time in one arm and he found one. But the funny thing about this IV is when I took a nap after he gave me the IV, he ends up telling me, I kept saying to my grandma, I was like, the IV helps me so much. I feel so much better. And the funny part is he didn't actually give me any medicine to help me with my pain.
Which was kind of crazy because the whole time he was thinking he gave him medicine. And I think since Ashton had some of this pain a couple months ago, actually, that the pain just comes and goes. And so I think at that point it had just kind of gone away for a little bit. But he in his mind, he was thinking he'd already given him some medicine in the IV. He was for sure getting fluids at that point. They got blood tests and they were waiting on an ultrasound technician to come in to find out what was going on and make sure he didn't have appendicitis. So got the blood test right away.
Yep.
And then the ultrasound technician came in and what did they find?
Appendicitis.
Ashton had appendicitis.
Wow,
And I keep making this joke a month
appendicitis.
too. I thought it was appendicitis when I had severe dehydration, and now.
No, see, Ash, I actually think, okay, a couple months ago, he thought he had appendicitis. Well, we thought he had appendicitis, but then the pain went away, so we didn't end up taking him in. I think it was the beginnings of
mild.
it.
Yeah.
So the good news, the huge blessing in all of this is that his appendix had not ruptured yet. That was what we were worried about because once it ruptures, it's more dangerous. The surgery is a lot more extensive. But the bad news is that we were in New York City and Ashton needed his appendix out. So Grandma and Papa and Mana Joe were all there surrounding Ashy and being there for him because we were in New York City. What are the chances? What are the chances that you need to get your appendix out when we're gone for 3 days? What are the chances?
So what was
weird.
that?
Crazy, but I will tell you, this kid right here, he blew my mind by how stinking brave he was. I was talking to him on the phone a ton, and he just said to me, Mom, I don't want to hear worry in your voice because I'm not worried. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm telling you, in true Ashton fashion, he was making friends with every nurse and every doctor. I mean, just best friends.
I played Fortnite with the nurse I met at the hospital. So.
Play
He's
Fortnite
not
with your
joking. He actually plays Fortnite with one of the nurses
Wow.
from the hospital.
He played Fortnite with one of those nurses. That's really cool.
But you guys, I have to give a major shout out to this boy right here because he was truly so incredibly brave.
Yeah.
Never even flinched at the entire situation. His mom and dad are in New York and he had to get surgery completely unexpectedly. A big surgery. You guys, he had his appendix removed and he was smiling, just making friends with everybody, going into the surgery room, giving peace signs. I mean, honestly, I just couldn't be more proud of this boy right here. It was so hard for me to be in New York and not be able to do anything. And I was just like blown away by him. So he goes back into surgery that night. I mean, it all happened so fast, really, if you think about it. In a day's time, he goes from feeling super sick to having his appendix removed. It was quick. The surgery was really quick.
Yes, I was so hungry and I had 2 chocolate puddings. But then this guy who I'm playing Fortnite with, he brought me a menu that's
Fortnite?
eggs and egg McMuffin. I was like, oh.
I eat my McMuffin.
Grandma told me it was special order.
Hey, what's my egg McMuffin? Breakfast is over at 10:30.
Yep, special order because they didn't have butter on that egg McMuffin, so we're like extra butter.
You gotta have that
And
butter on
then-
those egg
Yeah,
McMuffins.
you
and
add the
then
butter.
he brought it really good, but it might have been good just because I was starving.
And Mana Joe was like dipping the Lorna Doones in the pudding,
yes,
right?
Lorna Doones in chocolate pudding.
Okay, so nothing but having a
Shortbread cookie with some chocolate.
Okay, I forgot. Sorry. Now he's learned that he likes the Lorna Doone, but not just a regular Lorna Doone. He likes
Lorna
it dipped in the chocolate. So here, I mean, what we'll do
Lorna
for the
Doone.
patient, then he loves a bite of it, and then
Lord doing deep in chocolate. Really? Okay.
You dip again, and this is all while watching
A BYU game.
the BYU game.
BYU,
And,
yeah.
Sir, would you like a sip of water? Can I get
Yes.
you a drink? Okay, there we go.
Sip
All
our dog.
right. I love you, baby. Okay.
I love Grandma serving me.
So the surgery went as good as it can. They said it was enlarged to an adult-sized appendix.
Wow.
So thankfully it hadn't. So we're grateful for that. We're happy that he's on the mend, but it's a pretty big surgery. So he is out for the next couple of weeks. He's been home recovering, but you know, we're recording this a couple days later. So he's been home recovering like a total champ. I mean, this guy right here, one tough cookie. He's got 3 little holes, right?
Yep.
In his tummy that are healing right now.
And every single time I sit down, my shirt always goes up because it pushes my, look at that. It always, every single time my shirt goes up. I'm like, why does that happen?
So he's just been on some Tylenol and ibuprofen and kind of watching some shows. And thankfully fall break is coming up, so he won't miss school, but he's not super thrilled that maybe he isn't going to get to do like tons of fall break. To kind of finish up on the New York portion of it, it was a bit stressful there for a bit in New York City. And obviously with it being like a 5-hour flight, there was no way that we could get home in time for his surgery. And we asked, you know, if he could even postpone it a day or two, but the risk of it rupturing just isn't worth it.
Yeah.
So being so far away and worrying so much about Ash, I was pretty emotional in New York. I was just feeling all the feelings when we were there, just worrying so much about Ash and wanting to be there for him. But I was trying so hard to stay strong on my end of the phone because he was being so dang strong on his end. In fact, I remember when he could just sense a teeny bit of worry in my voice is when he said, "Mom, I don't want to hear worry in your voice because I'm not worried." And it makes me cry when I think about it right now, but I just am so proud of him because he really went through a lot that day and he just did it with such a positive attitude and such bravery. We were just so grateful that he was in such good hands with all of his grandparents there. And, you know, all of us agreed that there's no doubt in our mind that Papa Bingham was there with him too. And so it truly just felt like, you know, we just had all these angels in our lives, our parents just helping us, you know, in that stressful situation. So we just kind of made the best of the night in New York City. We got to FaceTime and talk to Ash before he went into surgery, and we'd already bought tickets for the Mets game that night. So we went and just made the best of it. It's really hard for me to do that sometimes, but I tried really hard to just make the very best of it because we were there and we were only there for a couple of days and there was nothing we could do. And yeah, we made the best of Saturday night and Sunday. And the Mets game was such a fun experience. Oh my gosh. Just to be there, you know, among all of the Mets fans, all of the people of New York and their amazing accents was just such a fun experience. Love baseball. It was really fun because the other 2 guys there are British. And so I heard Justin leaning over and explaining some of the baseball, very American sport, to his British friends. So that was really fun. And yeah, it was just a really fun experience to go to a Mets game. It was a playoff game. And so it was kind of a last minute addition to our trip. We'd gotten tickets early that morning. So other than worrying about our cute Ash, it was an amazing day in New York City. Such a fun day celebrating Justin and his birthday. Started off the morning with such a fun, unexpected brunch. We kind of happened upon this really cool restaurant, an authentic English brunch. Got to try out all of the pastries and the scones and an English breakfast and the fish and chips. And it was just so fun to be there with our English friends. Were showing us everything, what to try, what everything was, showing us a lot of the things that they loved eating growing up. And the lady who owned it, she's from England, and she was coming back and forth to our table. She was a character. She was so funny, and she was giving our table so much crap because Benj, one of our friends, loves a certain soccer team and she loves the other one. And so she was like, "Get out of my restaurant." I mean, she was just so funny. She made the whole experience so fun. You can see her in the video. She's singing along with Justin as we're singing happy birthday, and she gives him a kiss at the end. So an amazing way to start the day. Then we headed over on our bikes to Central Park. I mean, there's nothing like Central Park. Central Park is just so gorgeous. It was a chilly day. We rode our bikes through a beautiful fall day in Central Park, and then finished the night off going to the Mets game, which was so fun. So, all right, you guys, make sure you show some love to Ashton down in the comments. He was so dang brave. I'm so proud of him. So happy to be home with him now as he's recovering. So happy that we happened to have a flight the very next day so we could get home to be with him. So wish him well. well. Send over some well wishes for a quick recovery for Ash so that he can get back to his flag football, basketball, hanging out with his friends that he's missing so much right now. He's going a little stir crazy. And make sure you come back tomorrow because we have one more day in New York City on Sunday. It was an awesome day. You're not going to want to miss it.
Wow, that was emergency surgery. Healing EO is what to hospital for emergency surgery. Parents are not on by all up in New Orleans. Yeah, that's really bad. Yeah. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. And drop a like if you like. And comment down below if you want to see more reactions like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell to be notified when I upload. No more. Bye.